Good afternoon and welcome everyone. Today we are here for the mock press competition. Our judges are Deborah Lobo and Jaideep Chenoy. Deborah Lobo is the current president of the Winners Toastmasters Club of Mangalore, and Jaideep Chenoy is a journalist in Times of India. We welcome them. Next up, we have our press members, Vandana, Yashalva, Jasim, Mehek, Sasha, and Tejaswi, who will be asking questions to the participants. Before we begin, I would like to explain some rules to the participants. We will be waving flags instead of telling you to stop. Okay, so the yellow flag is for 30 seconds. So when you have 30 seconds to go, we'll be waving the yellow flag. And when you have 10 seconds to go, we'll be waving the red flag. I hope these rules are clear. Up first, we have Kangana Ranaut, that is Hiya B. Hegde. I would ask John F. Kennedy to be ready next. Thank you. Do we have Kangana Ranaut in the meeting? First up, we have Kangana Ranaut going. I would ask John F. Kennedy to be ready next. Everyone, please switch on your videos.
Should I start? Should I start?
Everyone except the speakers requested to switch off their videos. I repeat, everyone except the speaker, please put off your videos. Thank you. Kangana Ranaut, you may now start.
Can I start?
Yes, please start.
Namaste. मेरा नाम कंगना रनौत है and I'm an Indian actress and filmmaker. I was born on 23rd March 1987 in Bhamla, a small town in Himachal Pradesh. My parents are Asha Ranaut and Amardeep Ranaut. I have a younger brother, Akshit, and an elder sister, Rangoli. Initially, I wanted to become a doctor on the insistence of my parents, but I was determined to find my own passion and freedom. So I moved to Delhi at the age of 16 without anyone's support. I initially took up modeling and then made my way into acting. And after a lot of struggling, I backed my first film called Gangster, for which I received the Best Debutante Award. I'm also the recipient of the Honorable Padma Shri Award. I'm an outsider and I've reached till here and I've reached till here on my own. Diplomacy is not my best trait. I'm a person who's gutsy and outspoken. Many people call me nosy and opinionated, but the thing is that I'm the only one who has the guts to speak the truth. I'm a rebel with a cause, and I will fight against all nepotism and stereotypes. Thank you.
Thank you. Over to the press members.
Okay. In the past few months, since Sushant Singh Rajput's death, you have been very vocal about issues you have never cared for before. Is this an attempt by your PR team to save your failing career?
I'm one of the top actresses in India today. I'm one of the highest paid actresses, actually. And I don't think I need to do any publicity. As I said, I'm a very opinionated person and I fight for the truth. And I'm the only person in the industry who actually cares. And something like Sushant Singh's case has not happened before. And when it happened, I was deeply hurted and I wanted to raise a voice against all the movie mafia and all the people who do wrong and get away with it. And I won't let that happen.
Okay. The next question is, recently on Twitter, you mocked Karan Johar for jumping on the bandwagon of nationalism and by insinuating he was a third gender. So do you see nationalism and gender identity as a negative connotations?
No, of course not. It is just that Karan Johar tries to portray everything as something that is positive, but the thing is that he's doing all of this just to show himself and try to cover up all the bad things he has done. I wanted people to know that what he's doing is actually a PR work, and I want to expose such people who do such things just to show the audience and try to get them in their favor. Actually, he does not give a damn about anything of that sort.
Thank you, participant. Next, we have John F. Kennedy. Sorry, the judge wants to ask Kangana Ranaut a question.
Yes.
Is there anything under the sun that on which you don't have an opinion?
As a citizen of India, I have all the right to have an opinion about everything. And I said I'm always an opinionated person. I want to express my opinion because what I say makes an impact on millions of people. And if I can make that impact, I don't think I will try not to have an opinion about everything.
So including attacking Dosanjh and Priyanka Chopra for their comments on farmers' agitation?
That is a whole new topic, and I can speak about it. Uh, Now, if you see the streets of Punjab and Delhi, there is only bloodshed, and such a thing should not happen. India should be a peaceful country, and where you can sort out things while talking. I feel that the protesters who are paid to do all this are having unnecessary bloodshed, and people who support such sort of terrorism, I'm against such things. So I will speak against all them.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have John F. Kennedy.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, participant, you're audible. But please wait for 5 seconds before you begin. I'll let you know when you can begin.
Yeah, sure.
John F. Kennedy, you may now begin.
Good afternoon, my fellow Americans. Before we begin today, I would like to tell you something. The very word secrecy is unacceptable in a free and open society. As we as as people are inherently and historically opposed to societies, to secret oaths and secret proceedings. No official in my administration, whether his rank is high or low, should interpret my words here today as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up for our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts that they deserve to know. For we are opposed around the world by a for we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and a ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its spheres of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, and on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No president should fear public scrutiny of his program. From that scrutiny comes understanding, and from that understanding comes support or opposition, and both are necessary. I'm not asking your newspapers to support an administration, but I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people. This administration intends to be frank about its errors, for a wise man once said, an error does not become a mistake until we refuse to correct it. We intend to accept full responsibility for our errors, and we expect you to point them out whenever we miss them. I'm open.
Thank you. We now move over to the press.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. It's a true honor and privilege to be interviewing the great John F. Kennedy. You have a huge legacy, and there's not much that can be tainted in that legacy, except for the simple fact that you throughout your life have had a multiple array of allegations of womanizing. A close friend of yours called Larry Newman. I think the name Judith Exner should mean something to you. Also, the name Sam Giancana. Larry Newman, your closest friend, publicly stated that you had unsolicited guests at the White House. Do you think that ruins the sanctity of a place like the White House? You're womanizing, and does such a person deserve a place in the White House? Thank you, sir.
I mean, well, technically, if you consider the White House as my house for now, I mean, it wouldn't disrupt any sanctity of the White House. And womanizer, maybe, yeah, well, you could tell me one, like, tell me that I'm a womanizer, but I don't care, honestly. It's my life, my choice. So, yeah. And about Larry, I mean, he does things.
Sir, it is your life and your choice, but don't you see you're representing 300 million American citizens? And is that the sort of example that you want to live by? Especially America, probably the greatest country in the world. They care a lot about their image, and you seem to take this very casually. I did not expect this from a great man like yourself, sir.
Well, I mean, it's not about taking things casually, of course. Um, Keeping the image of America, I mean, yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to do anything with my personal life. Whatever I do in the White House, in my room, fine. Um, but I don't think it spoils the image of America. I mean, all the stuff is leaked, and I didn't want it to come out. So
You want to ask him questions?
You just introduce.
The judge will now ask you a question.
Mr. President,
yes,
hello, can you hear me?
yeah.
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
Okay, you just mentioned a few of these things were leaked. So what didn't you want to get leaked?
My personal life, I mean, that's all like my personal life. I don't like stuff about me going around in the country. It's what I do, and what I do about my personal life is for me, and what I do for my country is, of course, for the country. Yeah, I mean, what I do for myself does not affect the country, and I don't see any way in where you should point me out and tell me that I'm wrong in doing stuff like
But the leader of the free world setting an example, is that your way of setting an example?
no, not exactly. Um, but I mean, people look up to me in not a way of womanizer. They look up to me as a president, and yeah, I want to be to them as a president. But yeah, again, I told this is my personal life, so I don't see any way for it to come out like that.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, participant. You may now turn off your video. Participants, please hold on. We will now have our next participant, Kamala Harris, followed by Arnab Goswami. Kamala Harris, you may switch on your video. Arnab Goswami, please be ready.
Good evening, good evening. Thank you, good evening. The woman most responsible for my presence here today, my mother, Shamala Gopalan Harris, who will always be in our hearts. When she came here from India at the age of 19, she maybe didn't quite imagine this moment, but she believed so deeply in America where a moment like this is possible. And I am thinking about her and of the generations of women, Black women, Asian, white, Latina, Native American women who thought out our nations have paved their way for this moment tonight. While I be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last because every girl watching this sees this country of possibilities. And to the children, regardless of your gender, dream with ambition, lead with conviction, and see yourself in the way that others may not. And we will applaud you every single step of your way. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, participant. The press, you may now ask questions.
Good afternoon, ma'am. First of all, congratulations on being the first woman vice president elect, and all the very best for your term for the next 4 years. You have been quite vocal in your interviews as well as in the caucuses about legalization of marijuana, right? And I am a man who believes actions speak louder than words. So it doesn't matter to me what your words are, but your actions, your past records tell me that you have one of the largest incarceration records for non-violent crimes like trafficking, etc., and a majority of which whose victims are Black Americans. And today you are one of the champions of the Black Lives Matter movement. So how do you see yourself being consistent with your actions and your words? Because as Vice President of the United States, that's something that matters a lot. What are your
Yes,
thoughts on this?
matters a lot. Yeah. For how you have said me, like I would be honored to be the Vice President of United States of America. And for now, the Black women and the Black Lives Matter movement It's been one of the main things, as you have said just now. And like my actions, I will show you all that I will do my best for everything, and I'll try my best for all. And that's all I can say. I can promise you all, I will do my best for everything. I'll try my level best. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kamala. Thank you, press. Judges, if you have any questions, you may ask the participant.
You are touted as the de facto POTUS. Comments?
Yes.
With the Biden already past his 70s, you are touted as the next POTUS,
Yes.
even though
Yes.
you are the Vice President, VP.
Yeah.
Care to comment?
Yes. I'm actually honored at this potential Joe Biden has chosen me to be a vice president of United States of America. It actually means a lot. So I would see to do my level best and try my level best at all aspects what I can do. And I'll do whatever I can. That's all I can say for now.
No, but you're being touted as the next possible POTUS.
Yes, 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 I am. But for now, it's actually something that will not take up my time. I'm actually honored that all of them have like that. I would as a normal and regular person. And any action what I did,
Participant, here, you aren't very audible. Please come closer and talk loudly.
yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, please proceed.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. As I said, I would love to do that as Joe Biden is have crossed his 70s and now even I may be the next president and let's see what happens. But for now, on the 20th of January of 2021, I'm going to take the oath as the vice president. For now, I'm going to concentrate everything and ask for how I can do my best in all aspects. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, participant. Arnab Goswami will now perform. Salman Khan, please be ready. Arnab Goswami, your time starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the voice of the nation. Controversy's favorite child, Arnab Goswami, is on the talk tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let me put my biography in just few words. Born on 7th March 1973 into a Assamese family at Guwahati to Manoranjan Goswami, who himself was a politician and an ex-militant, though not a successful politician. And my mother, Suprabha Goswami, was an author. I started my education at St. Mary's School, then Kendriya Vidyalaya, then my bachelor's of sociology at Hindu College, Delhi University, where I met the woman of my life, my love. She had been a greatest support system, Samya Brata Goswami, who is the co-owner of Republic TV. And then I moved to Oxford University at St. Anthony's College to pursue my master's in social anthropology. I started my career life, my dream life to be exact, at the Telegraph Kolkata, then at NDTV for 10 years, that is from 1996 to 2006, and from 2006 to 2016 at Times Now. But lack of journalistic freedom at Times Now, I resigned as the editor-in-chief, and right now I'm the managing director and the editor-in-chief of the Republic TV.
Thank you, participant. Your time is up. Press, you may now ask questions.
Good afternoon, sir. I love your enthusiasm. I've been a
Oh,
fan
yes,
of.
because I just love turning tables around. I leave no question unanswered, mind you that.
Arnab, please hold on.
Yep, sure.
Yes, continue. Participants, there's one announcement to make. You are not allowed to interrupt the press. Participants, you are not allowed to interrupt the press. Please note. Arnab, you may now proceed. Okay, sorry. Press, you may now proceed.
Yes, sir. So I've been a great fan of your enthusiastic show and the entertainment you provide to us at night, sir. But recently, you had to face the wrath of the police, if I'm not wrong. You had gone to jail, and when you came out on bail, you were welcomed as a hero. You called, knowing that you caused the death of an innocent man. When a man names you on his death note, blaming you for his death, how do you go to bed, sir, thinking this is fine? Or every night come on TV, scream at the top of your voice. How do you do that, sir? This is something I could never live with, sir. How do you do this?
I strictly contradict the shallowness of your question. That the death of Anvay Naik, a Mumbai-based interior designer in 2018, was just an allegation. The police does not have enough evidence to say that I have. It's just a suicide note, and there's no pure evidence that I was the major reason why he committed suicide. He has written his suicide note that I have not paid the enough payment for his designing, which my company Republic TV has done it. And I'm not guilty that because of me someone has committed suicide. That is just a rumor. The India is with me and the nation is with the truth. That's my point. That's what I'm highlighting tonight. There is enough peace with my sleep. Your question was, how do I sleep? With peace. Because at the end of 10 p.m., my debate comes to a conclusion. All the controversies will be settled only because of my debate. The nation listens to me because the nation wants to know what the controversies rising in the country has got to do with my words, my opinion, and the truth.
Yes, sir. You talk about not having enough evidence, but then a man naming you in his final letter is considered the ultimate truth, and he names you. It doesn't matter if you were the major reason or the minor reason. You are the cause of the death of a man. Does that not deter you from going after people? What if another man takes his own life because of the stuff that you have said to him? A lot of what you said has great potential to cause harm to people. How do you deal with that, sir?
Well, I appreciate your opinion, but also, why should I be guilty? Because the police has manhandled my son, 20-year-old son. They have physically assaulted me at my house in the morning. How do the police have enough rights to do that?
Thank you, Arnab. The press is done with questioning you. Judges, you may now question.
Arnab, did you resign or did Vinit Jain throw you out?
Resign from?
Did you resign from Times Now or did Vinit Jain physically throw you out?
I have resigned it as editor-in-chief from Times Now on November 1st, 2016. Purely, I've mentioned it in my resignation letter. That is due to lack of journalistic freedom. I have my voice. I have my opinion. I have the truth that needs to prevail in the country. What do you think? Vinny did throw me out of the Times Now, and Republic TV was the upcoming thing in 2016. That's what gave me a better opportunity. So my big dream is to work in a broadcasting company, more Indian-based, but more like CNN and BBC. I've mentioned that in many interviews. So that was a big, I saw Republic TV as an opportunity, as a truth where truth can prevail. That's the main reason I resigned from Times Now, because I could not resist all the controversies, because all the rumors, because the nation is with the truth. I have left no tables unturned when I was working in Times Now. How shallowness of your questions. I genuinely feel that way.
Thank you, Arnab Goswami. You may now switch off your video. Salman Khan, you will now perform. Shashi Tharoor, please be ready.
Salman Khan.
Salman Khan, your time starts now.
Thank you. तो सलमान खान का नाम ही काफी है और मैं इस बॉलीवुड की भाईजान और my parents were Salim Khan, a very famous screenwriter, and Sushila Churin. Along with I'm a brother of Arbaz Khan and even Suhail Khan. So I'm one of the most successful commercial actor in the film industry, and I'm wanted by so many people and one of the greatest icons in the Bollywood. And I have many controversies such as the hit and run case, etc., etc., etc. But it's all about staying positive. It's all about being human in the end of the day. And talking about my film successes in the recent decade, that is the 2010s, starting with Double, ending with the very famous blockbuster, that is the Ekta Tiger, was a wonderful phase for me in my film career spanning over 30 years. And talking about my day of birth, it's 27 December 1965. I'm 54 years old, but I'm not looking like that. I'm always fit. Encourages myself to build a perfect body, to always remain in the shape, and to remain my fans beloved. And this fandom which I have will always bless me. And I know I'm not truly deserving that, but God has given me this, and I will always
thank you, participant,
and respect it. Thank you.
Your time is up. Press, you may now ask Salman Khan questions.
Oh, the great Salman Khan. So your life has been marred by controversy after controversy after controversy. But today I won't question you on your controversies. I'll question you on something, on your insensitivity, let's say. In 2016, if I'm not wrong, you gave out a statement saying, when I used that ring, it used to be actually like a raped woman walking out. This was after your shoots with Sultan. So were you comparing yourself with a victim of rape? Are you that insensitive as to not understand the pain of a victim of rape? Are you genuinely comparing yourself with a victim like that?
Talking about that particular case, I won't comment a lot though, and I think so. I've apologized too after the interview, and I don't want to go further into that matter.
Thank you, press. Judges, you may now ask questions.
So is there a part 2 for Bajrangi Bhaijaan?
Did not plan it yet though, but in future I might go for it. And right now I'm working on recently my post has also come out. I'm working on my shape at the SK27 gym, and I'm also working on Antim. So I will think about it.
How come you're with your shirt on today?
Sorry?
How come you're with your shirt on today?
See, that's the mannerism, that's the way you need to attend interviews, and me being such a big star, I think so I need to attend these type of interviews in a very formal way. And yeah, so obviously an interview should be attended with formality and dignity.
So we can't get to see the chiseled body of yours.
Not really. You can get to see that, but I think so you need to just check out my Instagram profile where I posted my ripped body, and I have worked on it for recently. And yes, just check out that, my abs, etc. And just you'll love that post. Thank you.
I will wait for your next film. Not to worry.
So yeah, next film is, please do watch that in the theaters. A lot of hard work and efforts have been put into that. And
thank you, Salman Khan.
Too.
Thank you, Salman Khan. We will now have Shashi Tharoor. Harshad Mehta, please be ready.
Greetings, my fellow countrymen. I'm Dr. Shashi Tharoor, and parliamentarian from Tirunananthapuram. And General who has been working in international affairs for the past 3 decades. It's indeed an honor for me to address this coruscating youth gathering at St. Aloysius Pre-University College. My dear countrymen, today we are facing the brunt of a criminal law passed by an authoritarian government who has reduced the world's largest democracy to kakistocracy, which led to kerfuffle and protest in the country. But the Prime Minister was least bothered as he was busy with his rodomontade speeches and election rallies. The desperate farmers are now united in their determination to come to the capital and express their voice of dissent and disapprobation and put forward their demands. But the government behaved like a totalitarian regime by trying to curtail their fundamental rights by using water cannons, tear gases, and maximum forces to disperse the gathering. Exasperating farrago of distortion, misinterpretation, and outright lies being broadcast by unprincipled showmen masquerading as journalists added fuel to the fire as they labeled these showmen as anti-state actors, since their efficacy had no bounds. It's irony that the government and the media wants the peasants to face all these prerequisites yet to be in favor of this law. I would like to warn this government that it is high time for it to come out of spare and assure the redressals of these farmers by abrogating these laws and restoring the status quo ante. If not, the vigilant youth shall show them the place where these knowledge deserve to be. I urge the people to be united in their determination and defenestrate the vigilantes and snollygosters before they defenestrate the constitution and divide the country. Thank you.
Thank you, participant. Press, you may now ask Dr. Shashi Tharoor questions.
Mr. Shashi Tharoor, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. Mr. Shashi Tharoor, regarding the national education policy, you have tweeted that you welcome the policy. In fact, your party goes against it. I would like to quote your tweet. I am glad Modi government has finally grasped the nettle, even if it took 6 years to do so. Mr. Shashi Tharoor, weren't you the minister of the 2009? When your government hasn't done something over the past 60 years, how could you say something like the BJP government took 6 years to do so? What did you all do in the past 60 years? I would like you to comment on that.
For the past 60 years on education platforms, you want me to comment on that? Okay. So let me make it very clear. The government of India took several stands. The recent education policy, which is now in order, was brought by the then Prime Minister, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, in the year of 1986, and followed by this P.V. Narasimha Rao had been brought implemented, and then Manmohan Singh ji had amended it. And you can listen to my TED Talk speech where I speak about this vocational training. So we also took certain effects, but yet we were also in a way to bring in a new education policy. But the government, if you see Narendra Modi, that is a long-standing thing that they said in their 2014 manifesto and 2019 manifesto. So I said that the government took 6 years, but yet it has been come. So I welcomed it. So I don't see on what grounds media or the press sees this as a very strange thing. Well, it's your opinion and you're entitled to it.
Okay, Mr. Shashi Tharoor. The second question I have for you is, you have blamed the Facebook for not taking strict actions against posts that are pro-BJP. How would you like to comment on the Facebook Cambridge Analytica data scandal? I would like to know, if you're making such statements, are you a hypocrite, or in your language, a whited sepulchre or a plaster saint?
Thank you, sir, and thank you for trying a level best to speak a good English. Let me make it very clear that in this country, see, I am the chairman of the Standing Committee on Information and Technology, and when hate-mongering speeches that is being peddled in the social media was brought to my notice. So me being the chairman of the Information Technology, I had urged the Twitter and the Facebook to take such action. And it's when it comes to Cambridge Analytica scandal, that's something that the Facebook should be answerable to the people. And I am a person who preaches personal law and ensures that one's personal data should be secured. So I feel like if the Facebook is found guilty, it has to be abandoned. So invoking Section 66A of the IT Act of of 2000, the government of India should ban it. But until they are proven guilty, they are innocent. And let us see what's going to be the outcomes. But all my statements regarding Facebook was not only as Dr. Shashi Tharoor, but also as the chairman of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on the Information Technology.
Thank you, Dr. Shashi Tharoor. The press is done with asking you questions. Judges, you may now ask Dr. Shashi Tharoor questions.
Shashi, recently you tried your hand with sitcoms. So is that your future?
No, sir. My future, I have decided long back. I'll be serving this nation as a parliamentarian. I had more offers when I left the UN. They asked me to write articles, they asked me to give speeches. I could have lived a very peaceful and calm life, but I don't want to do that. I want to be vocal for my countrymen. I want to serve this country. So I choose to be the parliamentarian in this country, in my home state, Kerala.
But you did seem to enjoy your sitcom.
Sir, yes, we do enjoy all those things, but it's part time. But my main work is to serve the people of my constituency, to serve the people of my country. And I do the best what I can do as a parliamentarian.
Does an intellectual like you feel lost in a party like the Congress?
Not at all, sir. The Congress party is the best place for an intellectual like me and a liberal like me, because Congress party is open to all thoughts. It's open to all people. It's an inclusive party, and people like me or Kapil Sibal ji or Jairam Ramesh ji, we all are open to new ideas, and we ensure that our ideas are brought up, and Congress is the best platform. We cannot be in a conservative, regressive party like BJP or some other party which has no connection with intellectualism. Therefore, Congress is the best, and I have opted the best.
Thank you, Dr. Shashi Tharoor. The judges are done asking you questions. You may now switch off your camera. We have Harshad Mehta, who will now perform. Sanjay Dutt, please be ready. Harshad, your time starts now.
Jai Shri Krishna. Good afternoon to everyone. As you know, I'm Harshad Mehta, and I know I don't need any introduction. Let me come straight to the point. Money attracts money. People should know that the Mehtas is no less than other business tycoons. The trust of people is extremely important to me, and not giving long motivational speeches. What I have learned from the market is the biggest risk in the market is not taking any risk. In Bombay, whenever the bell of the market rings, along with it, my name rings. I am the Bachchan of BST. Bombay है ये, जो कुछ भी बदल जाए ना, समंदर वैसा ही रहता है. मैं BSC का समंदर हूँ. Let me tell you an interesting story. Why I am growing more? Why grow more is growing more? People go wrong in believing the fate, while I believe in the value of the stock. देखिए मैं सिगरेट नहीं पीता, पर जेब में लाइटर जरूर रखता हूँ धमाका करने के लिए. I want to create history, and history cannot be made without the unity of people. Grow more is growing more. I am growing more. If you guys want to make your stocks grow more, you already have grown more. Thank you.
Thank you, Harshad Mehta. Press, you may now ask him questions.
Mr. Harshad Mehta, in your monologue, you told about. In your monologue, you told about how trust of the people is important to you, right? You've been this person who have kept the stock market always high, always built up. Would you admit it that more than the national interest or the interest of the people, it was your personal interest to keep the market high?
This question can be subjective, because I know many journalists were trying to expose me, and I know people want some stock, people who are great in stocks, they want to make me fall down. But I would like to tell one thing. when I was doing investing, when I was in Growmore, when many people were investing, everyone knew that the banks were happy, the people were happy, I was happy, Growmore was growing more, and I was one of the first advanced taxpayer of the country. So I don't see a reason why the journalists are trying to expose me.
Mr. Harshad Mehta, your company, Growmore, as you also made it very clear, it was your personal interest, because only Growmore was growing more. So, coming back to the trust of the people, you said you are one of the advanced taxpayers. You had frauded over 1 billion from the Indian bank, the money of the people's taxes. So, how do you comment on that?
Well, again, I would like to make something clear over here. I told that Growmore is growing more. Growmore being a broker, I being a stockbroker, Growmore is growing more because people are having trust in me. I am making making the people stock grow, and everyone are happy with it. I don't see why everyone is finding a doubt on me. I don't know why everyone is doubting me, and I would like to tell that. Taking money from the banks, this is what many stockbrokers do, but why me? Why are they exposing me? And as you guys know, I have already paid the 500 crore of SBI. I have already paid around 494 crore, and what is the big deal in the 6 crore when I'm making so much money?
Thank you, Harshad Mehta. The press is done asking you questions. Judges, you may now ask him questions.
So how do you describe your relationship with Sucheta Dalal?
What I would like to tell here is Mrs. Sucheta is a very eminent journalist. She has been consistent in her work, and I agree that she has a very good knowledge on the market. But what I want to emphasize over here is, when I am trying to build the nation's economy, I am trying to make everyone happy, and I am having that bullish attitude. I wanted people like Mrs. Sucheta to join me and make me grow more and make everyone grow more. I am emphasizing, I'm not telling make me grow more. Okay. So when if people or great journalists like Mrs. Sucheta joins me, goes hand in hand with me, then I think it would be even grow more would grow more, and the nation's economy would grow more with such great journalists.
Thank you, Harshad Mehta. You may now switch off your camera. Sanjay Dutt, you will now perform. Selena Gomez, please be ready. Your time starts now.
It's the bad boy in the room. Did you guess it right? Hum hai, Sanjay Dutt. I have lived my life in an unconventional way. I lost my mother due to cancer, Nargis Dutt. My father, Sunil Dutt, whom I always wanted to live up to, pushed me too hard. That's why I landed into drug abuse and many more complications in my life. I had to work very hard to get over all these adverse situations to pave way to a successful life. I delivered a lot of successful movies. So, I was living very well, but due to my short-sightedness and my negligence, I was termed an antisocial and booked under Tada Act. But I never gave up because I believed in myself. I have been cleared of all my charges in 2016 and finished my jail term. Of late, I have been suffering from stage 3 lung cancer, but I'm sure I will get over this due to the love and the cheers of all my fans and the support of my family members. Thank you. If you all have any questions, I'm here.
Press, you may now ask him questions.
Mr. Dutt,
could you give us an insight on and your thoughts on nepotism in the Bollywood industry?
So, nepotism, yes, it is there in Bollywood, but we're all a family. We have to live together. Yes, I was born from a political family with my dad, Sunil Dutt, and my mom, Nargis Dutt. They were actors. Yes, it relates to me. But still, I feel that we are a family. We should live together in peaceful, in harmony. So I believe that nepotism won't cause much of problem only to coming up actors. When actors come up, I feel they should be given equal opportunities. Nepotism shouldn't be there. But there will be recent glitches and all in the family. We are a big family. So I believe it won't cause much of a problem, but it is a small problem right now, but I'm sure it'll be solved very fast. Hello?
Mr. Sanjay Dutt, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
As the other press member is facing an internet issue. In your monologue, you just now mentioned that nepotism, you guys are all one big family, but your first film, Rocky, was directed by your own father, who handed you a role even though you weren't qualified at all. Haven't you contributed enough to nepotism? Please comment.
Have you all seen the film Rocky? I've acted well, right? So I believe the opportunity didn't go waste. My dad just gave me an opportunity. When I proved myself, if I had failed in that opportunity, he wouldn't have given me a second one. I had to come up by myself. But then he left me. It was just the starting opportunity he gave. Maybe you all consider that as nepotism. But he was a good guy, and he just gave me an opportunity, in which I proved myself that I was a good actor, and it was the start. It was the stepping stone for my acting career.
Fair enough, Mr. Dutt, but you were completely unqualified. Don't you think if you don't you think there would have been someone who's gone to acting school who would have been way more qualified than you? Don't you think that was a wasted opportunity that your father had given you?
Well, as I told, it was an opportunity which I was given. Yes, someone will be more qualified than you in every step of your life, actually. But you are the one who gets the opportunities, you got to take it. So I just took that opportunity and started my acting career in a bash. So, yeah, it was a great opportunity I got. And if you all consider that I'm not qualified to act in the movie, well, I don't have any problem with that because it's already done.
Thank you, Mr. Sanjay Dutt. Judges, you may now ask him questions.
Yeah, sure.
What exactly was in your mind when you stashed those AK-47s in your home?
I just wanted to protect my family. That was my only objective, to keep one rifle at home, which I took from the directors of my movie Sanam. So that was my only objective, to keep the guns at home, just to protect my family after the Black Friday riots.
But didn't it cause enough anguish to your father?
Yes, it did. I took a wrong step. I was too scared to face the situation. My dad taught me that, but I had to learn it in the hard way. So, yeah, my dad's personality as a very disciplined man and as a person who is to face every situation with strength, yeah, it did get him very angry, but I did it for the protection of my family, and I just have to regret about the decision. I can't do anything more. I can't change it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sanjay Dutt.
Yes, thanks so much.
Selena Gomez, you will now perform. Michelle Obama, please be ready. Selena Gomez, your time starts now.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Selena, and I've got this opportunity to talk. So let's just talk about myself, okay? Let's start with the introduction, shall we? I am Selena Mary Gomez, and I'm 28 years old and was born on July 22nd, 1922. I am a singer, a performer, you can say, a singer, a songwriter, a producer. I've acted, I'm an actress, and some of you guys might remember seeing me in the television series, which is Wizards of the Waverly Place. I was acting as Alex Russo in it, and also in some other movies, many movies actually. And some of you also look, I'm straight to the point, quite bold. I'll tell you, some of you might also remember from issues or controversies which everyone has to face in their lives. Yeah, what else do I have to talk about myself? Let's see. Let's talk about food, okay? So one of my favorite topics. I like everything. I am a foodie. I eat all sorts of food except greens. I'm a little allergic to greens. Not medically, in terms of, you know, yeah, we all share the same feeling. I like candies. I like Twizzlers. What else? What else? Let's think. Yes, Barney and the friend.
Thank you,
Barney and
Ms.
friends.
Selena
Oh,
Gomez.
forget about
Your
it.
time is up. Press, you may now ask her questions.
What are your thoughts on your cultural appropriation allegations? Ms. Selena? Ms. Gomez, what are your thoughts on your cultural appropriation allegations?
Sorry, you're inaudible.
What are your thoughts on your cultural appropriation allegations?
Sorry, what is that? What is that?
Okay, so in 2015, you released a song called Come and Get It, in which you were wearing a bindi and an Indian outfit. You came under fire, and they said you were being cultural, you were appropriating Indian culture, to which you replied saying that the song had a, and I quote, Hindu tribal feel to it. Don't you think this is extremely racist? And being a pop star, a very mainstream pop star, you can't be racist to a vast majority of your fans.
Look, I am also someone who has been facing things, many things in life. And when you are a public figure, I think that certain things can be taken very negatively against you. Tribal, you know, because I've I have to accept it. I did have less knowledge about India, the culture, although it's a very vast country with the very famous about its vast culture. The bindi and the fire thing, I must accept that these type of things is done in many songs and also in Bollywood songs. So I don't think it was very negative. But when you are up there as a public figure, people take things very negatively, except especially the press. And I don't think there was nothing racist about it. I did not say that
All
or
right, Ms.
tweet
Gomez,
anything
fair enough,
saying
fair enough.
that.
Fair enough.
Thank you, Ms. Selena Gomez. Judges, you may now ask her questions.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
As recently as December 8th, you said surround yourself with people who challenge you and believe in you. So who are these people who challenge you and who are the people you believe in?
Look, I don't think there is any particular person or a group of people who challenge you or believe in you. You come across many people in life, and I'm thankful to life for throwing challenges at me, because if there are no challenges in your life, I don't think you will be able to learn or experience something as vividly as a phenomenon, an experience makes you feel. So people who believe in you in most cases are your family, not in all cases. my case, my family was someone who believed in me a lot, my mother. And I faced about the people who give challenges on you. I think I have plenty of people who have played that role in my life, and I don't think I have to take names. It's already all over the world.
So how are your anxiety and depression issues now?
Anxiety and depression. Um, yeah, I'm fine. As you can see, smiling as ever, because through everything, thick and thin, I've always believed, you should have faith in yourself. I've always had faith on myself. And that is what I know, that how much ever I fall, how much ever I trip, I will get back. I'll stand up and show to the world that Selena is not going to, get off your faces that easily. Answering your question, I'm fine. I'm doing well.
Thank you, Thank you, Miss Selena Gomez. We will now have Michelle Obama performing. Miss Malala Yousafzai, please be ready. Michelle Obama, your time
Yes.
starts now.
Okay. Hope I'm audible to all.
Yes, you are.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Michelle Obama. Many of you may know me as the former First Lady of the United States of America. I was born on the south side of Chicago into an African American working class family. My mother was a full-time homemaker until I entered high school. My father was a city water plant employee. My parents didn't have a university degree, and yet they encouraged me to chase my dreams and complete my education. So it's because of them that today I am a Princeton University graduate as well as a Harvard Law School graduate. As a young woman, I was often discriminated based on my race and my gender. I had a lot of opinions of my own, but people were interested in knowing what my elder brother had to say. There are millions of girls who are deprived of education, unlike us. In some countries, people tend to view girls as less worthy of an education when compared to boys. So, if a family has limited funds, they'll educate their sons before their daughters. But we really need to focus on girls' education because it not only helps them to grow physically, but also mentally and socially. So, if we really believe that every girl in every corner of this globe is worthy of an education, just like us and our daughters and granddaughters, then we really need to deepen our commitment to these efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle Obama. Press, you may now ask her questions.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
So, former First Lady of the United States. Since you left the office in 2016, you have voiced out your political opinions on social media and other platforms. So, my question for you is this: will we see you standing for elections in 2024?
It's just that politics is not my thing, and I will not be running for the president as any elections in 2024. There are various platforms through which I can help the society rather than just politics. So it's not just my thing. So answering your question, I won't be standing in the election.
Okay. Like you mentioned in your monologue, you have always been an active advocate of feminism. You mentioned about girls' education. So, why could you please comment on why you quit your law career after getting married?
I didn't quit my law career. It's just that I set it aside to support my husband in his political career. And I have always been an activist for feminism, and I still support girls for their education.
Hold on for 1 second. Hold on for 1 second.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle Obama. You may now turn off your video. We will now have Malala Yousafzai perform. Emma Watson, please be ready.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of God, the most meaningful, the most gracious, and the most beneficial. I am humbled to be here today in front of all of you, the press, the audience. Assalamu alaikum. I am a women's right and girls education activist, and I am the youngest Nobel Prize winner, the laureate. I support girls' education because I think it is very important for your life, since education teaches you your basic rights and education is very important in your life. Girls' education is being very neglected, and there are 66 million girls in this world who are still not allowed to go to school. Whether it be Afghanistan, whether it be Pakistan, whether it be Nigeria, whether it be India, there are many countries where girls are still not allowed to go to school. Education, as I said, should not be only for girls, but definitely for boys too. A feminist does not mean only being supportive towards women's rights and girls' rights. Feminism is being equal to women and men. So I definitely support feminism. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Malala. Press, you may now ask her questions.
Ms. Yousafzai, in your monologue, you mentioned that feminism is not only for women, but also men. I 100% agree with that. It is a very important thing that not all feminist icons talk about. Also, but keep in mind that you have opened several schools that are strictly only for girls. Aren't you afraid, or don't you think that this is more leaning towards feminist supremacy and female supremacy than gender equality? What are your thoughts on this?
Yes. So as you're saying, I have constructed or supported in building of female schools. This is because if you check, you will find so many schools just for boys or, just for men. So if you think about it, you will have to level it out, because females also have to find schools that they can study in, find institutions they can pass out from. So at least to level it out, I think a certain number of girls' institutions should be made. Obviously, girls and boys should both be educated. So once I think the institutions are leveled, you can definitely, there are many people who are making schools for both. So I definitely support that once it's equaled out.
All right, fair enough. Thank you, Ms. Yousafzai.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Malala. Judges, you may now ask her questions.
Am I audible?
Yes.
So how does it feel to be the youngest Nobel Peace Prize winner?
Yeah, the day I was receiving the award, I was in Norway, and I was actually in school at the point. And one of my teachers came and they mentioned to me that you are receiving the Nobel Peace Prize. I was very astonished. I was definitely not expecting the award. I mean, I was 17 at that time, and being 17 and receiving such a big award with another great personality was definitely a big shock towards me. And I am obviously very honored to receive that award. And I hope I can keep up the name, and I hope I am doing good to keep the name of the award. Thank you.
Ms. Malala, you weren't very audible. Please repeat.
Yes, sorry. So as I was saying, the day I received the Nobel Peace Prize, I was actually in school in Norway, and one of the teachers actually told me that I was receiving the award. So obviously, as a 17-year-old in 2014, I was very astonished. I was definitely not expecting the award. But as I was receiving it with another great personality, another person who was fighting for children's rights, for children's education, who's been doing it for very long. So I was very careful, and I hoped that I could keep up the name of the Nobel Peace Prize. And as the youngest Peace Prize laureate, I was just very honored to receive the award, and I was hoping Peace Prize.
Thank you, Ms. Malala Yousafzai. We will now have Greta Thunberg perform. Emma Watson, please be ready. Greta Thunberg, your time
Okay, am I
starts now.
audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
I was eight. I was 8 years old when I first came across the term global climatic change. Apparently, it was something that we humans had created with our lifestyle. I remember thinking it was very strange that we humans, among so many animal species, were capable of changing the Earth's climate. And if we were, and if that was happening, then why was nobody doing anything about it? If burning fossil fuels is becoming a threat to our very own extinction, then why has it not been made illegal? And why are there no restrictions? All of this did not fit in my head, and I became ill when I turned 11. I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, OCD, and selective mutism, which basically means I only speak when necessary. And I think now is one of those moments, because we are in the wake of a mass destruction and extinction of all species on planet Earth. Our climate is breaking down. Children like me are giving up their education to protest. So, what can you do? What is your part? Stop voting politicians that do not believe in climate change. Join the movements that fight for the nature. Because everything counts. Everything you do counts.
Ms. Greta Thunberg, are you done?
Yes.
The press will now ask you questions.
Hello, Ms. Greta. It is an honor to be questioning you. Like you mentioned in your blog, that you were very young when you realized that there were global issues like this. You have hardly completed your education, yet you seem to constantly accuse the world's most qualified and educated scientists on global climate. What makes you think that you, a child, know things that the world leaders don't? Please comment.
I always accuse the fact that solutions for global climatic change have come up, but nobody is doing anything about it. The rich people are failing us, and the politicians are doing nothing. They're saying that it's more expensive to save the planet, and then they're investing millions into developing nuclear weapons. This is something that is very obvious, and I think it's not something that I think that I know everything. It is a very obvious fact, and the fact that change should be brought about is something that even the older generations should have understood it better, but they don't, which is why I want to bring it up. Because the younger generations will face the burden. The countries that actually pollute less will have the greater effect.
Ms. Thunberg, I completely agree with what you're saying. Something needs to be done. But so far, whatever I've heard from you is you have, at least from news channels, you have been constantly accusing and very disrespectfully, yelling at people who are 50, 60 years older than you. But what have you done to change things other than, making a scene? Could you please comment?
I think I've also said this in one of the interviews that when I started out, I was very young and I couldn't live with myself. I couldn't live with the fact that I wasn't doing anything, which is why I started the protest. Because I am not the president, but I know that I can do change from my part. I go to movements, I go to protests that urge the politicians to do a change. The Paris Agreement turns 5 tomorrow, and there has been no change at all, which is why we need to do something more. We need to protest more because we don't have the resources to go forward with bringing mass change in support of nature conservation, which is why I hold protests.
Fair enough, Greta. Fair enough. I would like to ask one last question to you.
Yes.
What do you think you will do next in this fight for, bringing out awareness of climate change and global warming? What is the next biggest step that we have to take, and what will your role be in it?
So in many tweets and many old people, they keep telling me to become an environment scientist, and they keep telling me to give up this protest and go get education and get into climate science. But what is the use of studying for a future that is not going to exist? I look forward to continuing my protests till my demands are met, till the people's demands are met, till the nature is given the justice that it deserves.
Thank you, Greta.
Thank you, Press. Judges, you may now ask her questions.
Chill, Greta, chill.
I will not stop being angry till justice is brought around and till the carbon emissions are brought down.
But you do sound angry now.
I think everybody should be angry. Nobody cares about the environment. Everybody gives more attention to galas than they do to the environment and the earth that is going to end in 8 years. I think everybody should be angry. It shouldn't only be me.
Okay, cool, Greta. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Greta Thunberg. No, you may now switch off your video. Emma Watson, you will now perform. Princess Diana, please be ready.
Statesman Edmund Burke said, "All that is needed for the forces of evil to triumph is for good men and women to do nothing." Good afternoon. As you may all know, I'm that little Harry Potter girl you have seen over the years. As this little Harry Potter girl at 6 years old decided to be an actress. As a child actor, I also attended classes with the Stagecoach Theatre Arts in Oxford. After my secondary school, I took a break to film Harry Potter movies, and I continued my higher education in the Brown University in United States. I was bullied a little in high school because of my fame. I graduated in 2014 with an English literature degree. I spoke at the UN. I spoke at the UN Nations for my campaign He for She. I want to tell whoever wants to be seen or shown or wants to contribute or tell anything. I am a feminist and an activist. I just started this campaign because I wanted to bring awareness that feminism is not only favoring women, but also treating all genders equally. Because the reality is, if we do
Thank you, Ms. Emma Watson. Your time is up. Press, you may now ask her questions.
Okay. Miss Watson, Harry Potter is one of the biggest movie franchises of the century. As you've said, that when you got the role because of your fame, you were heavily criticized and bullied. How did you cope with this? And also, do you still feel, now that you're a lot older, do you still feel that this fame affects you?
As a child actor, I think that it was a problem, and I was diagnosed with ADHD also when I was young. but I did not really pay a lot of attention to it, and I kept moving on. And now, as a 30-year-old, I still feel a little like like insecure, not insecure, I can say, a little like it's like the media, they want to know my personal life, and I would like to keep my personal and private life different.
All right, fair enough. Could you please tell us your thoughts on celebrities, you in particular, using their fame and privilege to influence their younger viewers? As you know, you have very young viewers, and these days celebrities are more influential than politicians and whatever. So, how do you use your platform to spread positivity and spread knowledge instead of what other celebrities are doing? What makes you different?
I see there are a lot of feminists in the world, and I would not many people have got the opportunity like actors, me and a lot of actors and actresses, to influential the younger generation. I wanted, as these moments of doubt, even I've thought about my young viewers and thinking like, what if I do wrong? And is it like, if I take one misstep, then all my viewers and all that would be like, would have a doubt on me. I just want to say that, like, I'm not considering myself different. I am the same, just like anyone else. But I've been given this opportunity to like give my views, propose my views to my viewers, and I just want to make things right. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma.
Thank you, Press. Judges, you may now ask her questions.
Emma, you've advocated for the role of more women in talks on climate change. Any particular reason for that?
I didn't quite get you there. Can you repeat the question?
You have advocated the need for more women to be involved in climate change talks. Any particular reason for that?
No particular reason, but then as you've seen over the years, the men have actually been more, and you've always considered women not to speak up, right, and not actually talk about such things. So women, I feel, would be more better for these topics. I'm not saying that men can't. I'm just saying that I would like to bring women and show that yes, both genders are equally good for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Emma Watson. Princess Diana will now perform. Harry Styles, please be ready. Princess Diana, your time starts now.
Lovingly called People's Princess or Lady D, I was born in Sandringham, Norfolk, England, the third child of John Spencer and Frances Spencer. I was initially homeschooled and then studied at Riddlesworth Hall School and then at West Hill School. Despite being shy, I've always been passionate about music and dance. I've always been very fond of children, and that's why when I moved to London after finishing school in Switzerland, I began working with children, eventually becoming an assistant at Young England Kindergarten, and in 1981, when I was married to Prince Charles. This made me the first royal bride with a paying job. I have two sons, William and Harry. Charles and I separated in 1992 and finally divorced in 1996. After divorce, I have dedicated myself to charity work and spreading awareness in various areas, for example, AIDS and landmines. Although the paparazzi and media attention on me is what helped me tell my story to the world, there were many moments when I felt a strong intrusion into my privacy and my private life. And I sincerely request the media to act responsible and respect my rights to privacy.
Thank you, Princess Diana. The press will now ask you questions.
Good evening, Your Highness. I would like to ask you that many royals have come and gone, but none of them have connected with the people like you did. What made you get down in the dirt and connect with the masses?
Sorry, I can't quite hear you.
Okay. 1 second. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Good evening, Your Royal Highness. I would like to ask you that many royals have come and gone, and there have been many famous royals in the past. None of them have connected with the people like you did. What made you get down in the dirt and connect with the masses, especially during the AIDS pandemic?
Yes. See, uh, I have always been the kind of person to speak my mind, to do what I felt was right. So when the AIDS, HIV virus was at its peak, many people believed it would because it spread through sexual contact. The people believed it would spread even through touch. So I wanted to show the people, prove to the people that it did not spread through touch. We just because someone's infected, someone is sick, we cannot leave them alone. Everyone needs to be loved. Everyone needs love. Everyone needs compassion. And I think this nature of mine is what made the people love me. And I think that's why the people, that's what made me, helped me connect with the people. And that's how, you know, I built that bond with the people.
Thank you, Princess Diana. Judges, you may now ask her questions.
Am I audible?
Yes.
In hindsight, how would you characterize your death? Is it an accident or is it a murder?
Well, if I have to say something, I think it would be a murder. And I would say so because there are many people out there who do not like the way I live my life, who are against me doing some of the things that I do. And I think there will be conspiracies against me somewhere in the future, and that might lead to my death.
Thank you.
Thank you, Princess Diana. We will now move on to Harry Styles. OJ Simpson, please be ready.
Am I quite audible? Hello.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Your time starts now.
I, Styles, Harry Edward Styles, was born on 1st Feb 1994. I am an English singer, a songwriter, and an actor. I started my musical career in 2010 as a solo contestant on British competition series The X Factor. Following my elimination, I was brought back to the boy band One Direction, which was one of the most best-selling boy bands of that time. I released my self-titled debut album through Columbia Records in 2017. I made my acting debut in Christopher Nolan's in 2017, Warfinen, on a fully mutilation. And I went to a second album, which was Five Lines in 2019. And I was among the top best 500 albums to release. And my recent song, Watermelon Sugar, was among the Billboard's Hot 100. And many people have this doubt about my sexuality. And I think, who really cares? Fashion is anything black and white. Thank you.
Harry Styles, are you done?
Yes.
The press will now ask you questions.
Thank you, Mr. Styles. I'm a huge fan. So you have the youngest, probably. You have an extremely young and impressionable audience. Yet you very openly admitted to the use of regular psychedelic drugs during the making of your newest album, Fine Line, which, by the way, in itself is a reference to cocaine. So, don't you think that you are promoting hard drugs to your fan base?
See, I believe in things what I like. I really don't give a damn what people think about in life. And to be honest, what suits me best is what I think is right. No doubts.
Yes, but in an interview with Howard Stern, you said that while on magic mushrooms, you fell off the roof of your own house while high. Do you think this is the image you want to promote to your young audience, who's going to be the next generation?
See, like I told you, what suits me best is what I like a lot. And I don't mind even if I'm high. To be honest, I was open about my sexuality and I really don't give a damn because what suits me right is what I like, be it drugs or whatever I think. Falling off a rooftop is my habit and what I like is the best. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Styles, your recent Vogue cover shoot sparked major controversy because of the fact that you, a man, were wearing a blue lacy dress. Do you think promoting femininity among men is harmful among the next generation, or do you reserve to your previous comment that you just don't care?
See, to be honest, one guy should follow his dreams, his passion, and what he likes the most. To be honest, what a guy is comfortable with is what he likes, be it a man or a woman. If he's comfortable wearing a woman's dress, it's completely all right because it's his or her wish. And whatever suits you best and is comfortable, go on with it.
All right, and now finally, Mr. Styles, how did the breakup of One Direction affect you? Did you find your solo career, did it suit you better than your life in One Direction?
See, to be honest, I am not as happy I was before. Neither am I sad. To be honest, it is fun to be with people, and One Direction, definitely yes. But being alone is another best thing what I like because I am exposed to what I like, what I feel is best. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Thank you, Mr. Styles. It's been an honor.
Thank you, press. Judges, you may now ask him questions.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, Ben Shapiro took a dig at your dressing style and said, this is perfectly obvious. Anyone who pretends that it is not a referendum on masculinity for men to don floofy dresses is treating you as a full-on idiot. Why do you take your critics on in this way?
See, I have one thing in life which is clear in my head. What suits me best is what I go with. What people think is what I really don't care. I really don't care what the people think, what the fan base thinks. I follow my idea, my fashion, be it whatever it is. Fashion is black and white. Doesn't matter if it's a woman's dress or a men's dress. And to be honest, I follow my dreams, my passion, my style.
So how did it feel to be on the cover of Vogue?
Sorry?
How did it feel to be on the cover of Vogue?
See, to be honest, I like the way in what I go. There's no second doubt about it. And definitely being a part of a big fan club, people follow other people by watching their dressing styles and by, just keeping one on other character moving on. But I don't go with that because I feel whatever suits you best is what you show to the world. And whatever you like is what you have it.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Harry Styles. We will now have OJ Simpson perform. Elvis Presley, please be ready.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please turn on your video. Your time starts now.
You may be wondering why I agreed to this interview. It is a well-known fact that I have always wanted to speak as soon as my case was closed. But since I was involved in a civil lawsuit right afterward, I was not able to speak freely due to the fear that anything I say may be used against me. But though I'm doing it now, I really don't think this meet will change the minds of anyone who truly believe that I'm guilty. This is only to assure and to, the ones who truly believe that I am innocent, those who believe me, who have faith in me. I want to make sure that these people are reassured. The truth about what happened has been diluted. It has been changed to make sure that the media gets more ratings. It is all for money, and it is my job and my wish that I am able to bring the truth out to the world. I always say that if Nicole was here right now, she would stand firm with me and she would say that I am truly innocent. Yeah, I'm open to any questions.
Yes, the press will now ask you questions.
Okay, Mr. OJ. Since you've already commented on this allegation that you were completely innocent in the crime of Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman, I would like to ask you this question. How did you feel when your career completely derailed and got destroyed because of the allegations made against you? And how did you recover from this?
It was devastating. It was devastating at first. To be accused of something that I would never even dream to do. It was incredibly devastating. But then slowly, after I was acquitted, I won the case, and then I had a lot of help from my family members, and I was slowly able to come back, and I'm fine now.
All right, Mr. Simpson. During the infamous People versus O.J. Simpson trial, the jurors were mostly black, and thus you appealed to your blackness or your community to win over their hearts and get your not guilty verdict. Can you comment on why you were such a huge supporter of the black community back then, but now ever since the Black Lives Matter movement is at its peak, you have not made a single comment this year about it?
I am a black man, and I'm proud of my race. I'm proud of everything to do with it, and I support it in every way possible. This year, I have not commented on it much, as I'm trying to keep a low profile. I do not want to be in the limelight again. I am trying to live off my life. I'm 73. I want to finish my life happily and silently.
Yes, but don't you think it was unfair that you didn't really during the trial, you didn't give any fair proof. You just relied on your community. You just relied on saying, I'm black, and you guys, all the jurors are black. Please say not guilty. I mean, please give me the not guilty verdict. Do you think that is right on your part?
See, the police has no evidence against me. So I do not see the reason why I should be convicted. And if if you say that I used my identity, my community to get out of the case, I would not really, like to comment on that, because how do I put this?
All right, Mrs. Simpson, fair enough. You don't believe that you relied on your community, whereas proof shows that you did. But all right.
OJ, Mr. OJ, you also made a controversial statement regarding the Black Lives Matter issue this year, where you said that the abuse against the blacks, abuse against the current situation right now, you made a comment saying that it is up to the police. It is up to the police to make changes and not anybody else. Do you think that it is fair for you to not back the black community now and use their support for your trials then?
I am backing it. I am wholeheartedly backing them. I really, the movement should be um, um,
It is okay, participant. No problem if you can't answer the question. We can move to the judge for more questions.
We have no questions from the judges. Thank you, participant. Elvis Presley, you will now perform. Johnny Depp, please be ready. Elvis Presley, your time starts now.
Hi everyone, it's wonderful seeing everyone. You all are looking good as always. Most of you know me. I think all of you know me actually. Anyways, I am Elvis Presley. Yeah, I was born in Tupelo, Mississippi. It was a small place. It didn't really work out much for a family, and it didn't really help that we were really poor. So we had to move to Memphis, Tennessee in November of 1948, where, according to me, this was my first ignite of my career. I had gone to the Sun Records just to record some songs. I just wanted to know how I sound. But then the great guys over there, especially Sam Phillips, he recognized me and we did a few more recordings. And soon enough, um, my closest friends right now, Scotty Moore and John Wilkerson, we both, the three of us formed the band, and well, now we play. And we officially gained fame through the RCA Victor contract. And I remember our first performance where everybody just went crazy. You know, we didn't really do anything much. It was, we just did a thing, you know. And of course, I've always been nervous. I have always been a shy kid throughout my life, and yeah, it's a bit scary to know that everything eventually turns out if you just believe in yourself. Because here I am right now, known as the king of rock and roll by you people.
Thank you, Mr. Elvis Presley. Your time is up. The press will now ask you questions. Before that, I would like to make an announcement. Priyanka Chopra will go next, and Johnny Depp will go after her.
Good afternoon, Mr. Presley. You are known as the first great rock star, and you are the man who originated the term drugs and rock and roll. Do you think that rock music can't be made without the use of drugs?
Well, I did sure, use drugs and rock and roll. But the thing is, rock and roll is more about the groove and everybody gets it, you know. Drugs is not really important, drugs is not necessary and it's not really good. But yeah, as long as everybody gets that rock and roll is me of the groove and that's what drives the genre, well, that's pretty well done then.
Thank you for the answer, Mr. Presley. One more question. You started dating Priscilla when she was only 14. How do you respond to the allegations that call you a pedophile?
Well, it is very reasonable, but for me it was a really rough time because my mom was going through a lot and I wasn't really mentally stable, or emotionally, but of course it doesn't account to anything of me being unusual or something. But I say it was love. I mean, I'm not, crazy in any sort of way. Just where love took me. Yeah.
But you started dating Priscilla during one of the biggest heights of your career. But okay, that's all right. Thank you for that, Mr. Presley.
Thank you, Press. Judges, you may now ask him questions.
Your death has been attributed to drug overdose and not a heart failure. So was that the message that you wanted to send out?
Well, if how do I put this? So like, if I was covering up the fact that I was taking drugs and it came out only after my death, then it means I was trying to protect something, right? I didn't really encourage drugs, and I didn't take them because I wanted. I was prescribed, and soon enough, drug became an addiction. And well, yeah, it was due to drug overdose because I was given an extreme amount of doses by my physician. But I just hope that people don't take the wrong message and see it the right way, that you know you need to be straight with yourself. You don't need drugs or something. You just have to believe in yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Presley. No more questions for you. Priyanka Chopra Jonas, you will now perform Johnny Depp, Please Be Ready. Priyanka Chopra Jonas, your time starts now.
Hello everyone, I'm Priyanka Chopra Jonas. Since the time I was a little girl, I've been moving from place.
Mrs. Priyanka, please turn on your video. I'm sorry, but we are unable to see you. Are you facing an internet issue? Okay, we will have Priyanka Chopra Jonas perform in a while. I request Kim Kardashian to perform now. Johnny Depp, you will perform after her. Kim Kardashian, please be ready and switch on your video. Judges kindly note, Kim Kardashian is absent. We will move on to Johnny Depp. Judges kindly note, Johnny Depp is absent. We will move on to Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence, please turn on your video.
Yes, I'm here. Just 1 minute. Something is wrong over here. I can't see all of you.
Because our videos aren't on.
No, not that. It's like I'm kept. Okay, now it's proper. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Just give me a minute. Jennifer Lawrence will perform now. Marilyn Monroe, please be ready.
And the Oscar goes to Jennifer Lawrence.
This is incredible. Thank you. You guys must be wondering if I fell. Well, that's a common thing now. Thank you. I have this naked statue here. That means some of you even voted for me. And this is an indescribable feeling. This is nuts. Thank you to the Academy and thank you to the women this year. You were so magnificent and inspiring, and not just those of you in my category. And it's been so amazing to get to know all of you. And you've been so nice and you've made this experience unforgettable. And thank you for the best producing team and our cast and crew, my family. I love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Participant, are you done?
Yes.
Judges, you may now ask her questions. Sorry, press will now ask you questions.
Hi, Jennifer Lawrence.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes, very clear.
All right. So you have had a peculiar history of controversies, as well as your start in your career was you have been rejected multiple times before getting the lead role of Katniss Everdeen in the Hunger Games series. So how did it feel to play Katniss Everdeen?
Well, according to me, my personal experience, I feel like Katniss Everdeen was, she was like a really a courageous person, and she wanted to go everywhere and she wanted to do what she wants. So I feel that portraying that role was one of the best achievements I have done till now. And I guess it can be seen right now. It was indeed a good role, and people have spoken and said that was really good. And I have even got Guinness Book of Records. I guess I have even went for that. That was one role that even taught me a lot of things. And reading the books also helped me portray that role. And I'm really lucky to have her in my personality too. So it's actually a great honor.
Okay. I would like you to comment on this. When you initially started out your career, you were body shamed and asked to strip down naked so that they can get you ready for the role of Katniss Everdeen. But you allegedly made that role as your own and did not go according to the director's wishes. Please comment on your stance on body shaming today.
Honestly, I do not support that. And I don't think anyone else should support, because I personally had my share of all this. As you know, my pictures got leaked over the internet, and you have seen a lot of that in the previous years. And for this role, I don't think that people have to select people for actresses and actors for the role just because of their body. It's because of what's inside them. It's their talent. So according to me, I have not gone according to them, because I know that I had the talent and I know that I was capable of doing something. And that's why I have chosen this path. And that's why I have walked through this. And that's why I have accepted this from even the author. So I personally feel that body shaming is not something that has to be done right now, because, as you know, yeah, it's really headaching also.
All right.
You feel.
All right. Fair enough, Jennifer. Thank you. The judge will now ask you questions.
Yes, thank you.
How did you take the family? Sorry, how did you take the fire tragedy at your family farm? How has that affected you?
It was actually a sudden thing. We didn't expect something like that to happen, and yeah, we are trying to rebuild it. Taking most of the efforts, and we're trying to rebuild it, and it may open soon in 2021. So people who are planning to join, please be ready. And I honestly didn't feel really good about it. I feel really sad, because that has been our home. We grew up there, me and my brothers. We grew up there, we learned, we shared things, we enjoyed most of the things in that farm, and it was totally amazing in there. But when it got burned down, everything looks really different. The barn has come down, and we're trying our best to rebuild it. So I hope it goes back in better shape, and we find a lot of good people coming around this time of the year too. I mean, next year, 2021. So stay tuned for that. I'm hoping to see all of you there.
Yeah, thank you and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer Lawrence.
Thank you.
Judges, please note, Priyanka Chopra Jonas and Johnny Depp are back, and we will have Priyanka Chopra Jonas perform now, followed by Johnny Depp.
When does the time start?
Mrs. Priyanka, kindly, your time starts now.
Since the time I was a little girl, I've been moving from place to place. It was understandable because my parents, they were military physicians. I went from being a little town girl to a well-known figure. It is a journey which is still going on. My journey is not yet completed. It started when I joined the beauty pageant in 2000 and became Miss World 2000. That's where opportunities came knocking at my door. And after that, many more opportunities followed. And now here I am as a model, as an actress, as a film producer, as a singer, and also wedded to Nick Jonas, a singer from the band Jonas Brothers. I am an ambassador at UNICEF. I really love working there as an ambassador, as it brightens me up, seeing how these children, these advocates, how they work. So I'll be answering the exciting questions given to me now.
Yes, the press will now ask you questions.
Okay, Ms. Priyanka Chopra Jonas, like you mentioned in your monologue about your marriage to Nick Jonas from the Jonas Brothers, I would like to ask you a question. Before that, you have already mentioned that you are a global artist. So keep in mind when I ask you this question, your marriage with Nick Jonas has been a hot topic in news for a long time now. Do you believe that this marriage has helped your image in Hollywood and the Bollywood industry?
Yes, it has helped me a lot. I didn't have any intentions of bringing my name up. We actually met through a friend since I started working in Hollywood, and after that, he became a reason um, for me to get opportunities. But there was
So,
never an intention.
Miss Priyanka, you're admitting that marrying Nick Jonas was a PR stunt.
No, I'm not admitting it. I had no intentions about that. I just love him genuinely. I love him genuinely. It's the people who think just because we are celebrities, they think everything we do is for fame.
All right, since you're changing your stance, I will move on to another question. Your position as the UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador, has this influenced your actions and thoughts since you got that position in 2016?
Yes. Well, the first trip I went on, I saw a girl. She was only 13 or 14 years old, and she was giving out so much of encouraging words to little girls who were being forced into child marriage, and that's where my confidence to help all of these young children whose voices were only heard in some places, yeah, it encouraged me to bring these voices up.
All right, thank you, Ms. Jonas. The judge will now ask you questions.
Your marriage pictures are still surfacing. How many more to go?
uh, it, Whenever I see the pictures, it just reminds me of the day of the whole time, and yeah, seeing it makes me happy and makes me want to see it again and again. And yes, I would love to share it with others actually.
So how many more can we expect?
Depends.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Jonas. We shall now move on to Johnny Depp. I request Marilyn Monroe to please be ready. Johnny Depp, please switch on your video. Your time starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Johnny Depp, an American actor, producer, and musician. I was born on June the 9th, 1963, in Owensboro, Kentucky. By the age of 7, my family had lived in more than 20 different places. So you can expect I didn't have the best of growing up. My parents had divorced when I was 15 years old. Soon after, I dropped out of college so that I could pursue a career in rock music. I joined a band called The Kids. I'd say we enjoyed local success till we disbanded in 1983 before we could even sign a record label. I made my film debut in 1984 after Nicolas Cage, most of you all might know him for his famous acting. He advised me to take up acting as a career. Made my debut in 1984 in the horror movie A Nightmare on Elm Street, about 2.5 years ago now, 2.5 decades ago. In 1987, I got my big breakthrough in the Fox television series 21 Jump Street. I played an undercover cop in the series. In 2003, I had the pleasure of working with Disney in the movie series Pirates of the Caribbean. I played Captain Jack Sparrow. Now, I can safely say that Captain Jack Sparrow is a huge part of me. It was one of the most successful movies I've ever worked in, which got me nominated for the Academy Award for the Best Actor. Soon after, about in 2016, I worked with Warner Brothers in the movies Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them as an evil
Thank
wizard
you,
Grindelwald.
Mr. Johnny Depp. Your time is up. The press will now ask you questions.
Due to the allegations made by Amber Heard, your ex-wife, you have lost your role in Fantastic Beasts. How do you plan on saving your career henceforth and recovering from this?
Well, it really was an unfortunate series of events that happened after our divorce. Well, I hope to look on the positives, and I'm sure the truth will come out. As I've said, I have filed defamation lawsuits against the Sun for calling me a wife beater, which I'm definitely not. I am pleading innocence, and I'm sure the truth will prevail, and my acting career will probably even grow even more.
Is
I
it
am not
true that
afraid of it destroying my acting career, if that's the question.
is it true that Amber Heard chopped your finger off?
Yes, it is true that Amber Heard chopped my finger off. There's a deep scar over there now. I'm pretty sure many of you all have seen images on the internet which prove that. So yeah, she threw a vodka bottle at me, and it hurt me a lot, and it's a scar for life now.
All right. You are known to be a very, very versatile actor, playing roles right from Alice in Wonderland to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So, what is your secret for being such a versatile actor?
Well, it would be enjoy what you're doing. I always loved working as actors. As working as an actor. Well, you might remember Captain Jack Sparrow. That I made it my own character. I worked hard on it. I built a persona and I made him my own. I started living like him. I started adopting traits. So yeah, I just get into the groove and then feel like I am with them. I try to pursue things in the way the fictional characters do, and it's pretty easy
Thank you,
job for me
Mr.
really
Johnny
since I
Depp.
love it so much.
Yes, thank you. The judges will now ask you questions.
So is it a tit for tat when you try to get Amber removed from Aquaman?
Well, no, I don't think it's tit for tat. Since I have been, I'm just starting off with the truth here. I don't think she deserves to be there. If there is anyone else in my place, I would. If Amber Heard was someone else's wife and she had been abusing someone else's husband, I would still root for them. I don't think that a person like that should be able to work in such huge companies. So no, it's not because I was affected by her. It's because I'm standing up for the truth.
Yeah, well, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Depp. We shall now move on to Marilyn Monroe. I request Virat Kohli to please be ready.
Hello, am I audible?
Marilyn Monroe, can you please put on your video?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Yes, your time starts now.
Okay. Hello, I am Marilyn Monroe. I was born on June 1st, 1926, to Gladys Pearl Baker, and I was baptized as Novin G. Mortensen. My mother was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, and due to that, I had rather a troubled childhood. And I went on to be one of the most popular actresses in the American film industry. I've been listed 6th by the American Film Institute in the greatest female screen legends from the golden age of Hollywood. My popular works include How to Marry a Millionaire and Gentlemen for Blondes. And I've also received a Golden Globe Award for my work in Some Like It Hot. And I've also been known for my troubled private life, but I would rather not speak about it. And that's it. Here's Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe, are you done?
Yes.
The press will now ask you questions.
Could you tell us more about your special relationship with JFK and the Happy Birthday song?
I remember it only as a happy birthday song. I don't think there's a special relationship with John F. Kennedy. It was just an early birthday celebration, and I just sang him happy birthday. Yes.
Why the reason for the sultry tune?
Oh, that's in my voice always.
All right, Ms. Monroe, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, press. Judges, you may now ask her questions.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, you worked in an era where the attitudes towards sexuality was changing. So how did it affect you personally or in your career?
Yeah, I've been quite vocal about it, and I have declined my contract with 20th Century Fox on multiple times because I was paid less as compared to my co-actors, even though I was in a better stage as compared to them. And I think that in the end, 20th Century Fox and the other production companies learned the mistakes, and I was quite paid well in my final years.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Marilyn. I now request Virat Kohli to perform. Kangana Ranaut, please be ready. You will perform next.
Everyone, Virat Kohli, #1 ODI batsman according to ICC, nicknamed as Chiku, the guy from Delhi who has tried a lot in making the team part of the Indian team. Last 4 years, from 2017 to 2019, I've been winning the Wisden Leading Cricketer of the Year. 70 international centuries on my name. Now leading the Indian team and trying to make sure that we'll get a World Cup soon.
Virat Kohli, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. Any questions?
Before I ask the press to ask you any questions, Kangana Ranaut has already performed. So after you, Will Smith will be performing. Press, you may now ask Virat Kohli questions.
Okay, Virat Kohli. As you were made the captain of the Indian cricket team, there was a change in management. The head coach, Anil Kumble, had to resign, and Ravi Shastri then became the head coach. Why do you think there was a need for a change in the coach when India actually retained their position as the #1 test team during his reign?
See, the team is actually, you shouldn't have a coach who the team is comfortable with. You should have a coach with whom your visions meet. You should have a coach who has got a lot of experience of coaching a team, or rather you should have a person who just comes out, who gets matched with your wavelength. So when it comes to the team, it's important that we go with the team. We important go with the players rather than the management. And for us, it was important that we have to make sure that we have a person who just understands us and brings the best out of us. So for me, Ravi Shastri was a better idea because of his experience of playing against a lot of teams, being an all-rounder. And Anil Kumble was not quite a pleasant thing in the team. Well, because there was kind of a contradictions in our ideas and our matters. So basically, I just felt like it was better to go with Ravi Shastri than go with Anil Kumble.
Mr. Kohli, I would like you to comment on the allegations of leaked emails which suggested that you were making decisions along with BCCI behind the scenes without Anil Kumble's knowledge when he was head coach. Do you think that is ethically right? And if not, please elaborate.
Well, that's kind of, it depends upon the situation where I have been doing that. Well, you can't ask your coach to just move out of your team. So in such situations, rather sometimes you have to just go a little wrong path, because it's, after all, it's important for the team to win. It's important for that you stay in the game and you're well competitive in the modern world. And maybe there was like talking to be honest, and personally, I didn't find it very much comfortable with the coach Anil Kumble. And it was more important for me to just think about the team rather than thinking about emotions and all. And well, that's what made me do that.
Okay, Mr. Kohli, on another topic, I would like you to comment. Do you think it's right for you to put your personal interest, you taking paternity leave after the first test match against Australia, over the national interest of leading your team into the next 3 test games? Because Mahendra Singh Dhoni, your predecessor, led his team in 2016 when he was expecting his first child and came out and said to people that it was his national duty to do so. Please comment.
I was expecting this first of all, but talking about this thing is like maybe MS has done a very good job back then. It was important for him to stay, but now I'm not in a situation like we have players back there in our team. We have very good experienced players. We have KL Rahul has been very good in the IPL. He's got the captaincy vibe and he really does good. So I don't think it was like it's going to affect him much. It might affect, but I think at present situation, it's important for me to go back home, give Anushka some moral support because of if this part she needs, because she is kind of a little bit sensitive in the nature and she needs a kind of lot of moral support. Well, talking about India, I'll be coming back very soon to the team, and I think I've done very well in the recent past ODI and T20 series. Well, I'll be playing the first test, and after all, the reason why I'm just going is like it's not a do-or-die situation, because we have very good players in the team right now.
All right, Mr. Kohli, thank you for your time. The judge will now ask you some questions.
So what prompted the Shirshasana?
Shirshasana was like we actually wanted to do something like it's in the sense we want to engage ourselves with the people. It was like our doctor advised that it was very good that if Anushka just makes herself very fit in this last trimester. So when we asked the doctor which was the best thing to do, then he was like, just do Shirshasana, and it was Anushka's idea to share in the social media so that we kind of become an ideal for the country, for the couples in the country, and moreover just for entertainment purpose, so that we are just being positive, that it's not like you don't expect a pregnant woman to sit in the room and just to spend her day in watching the balcony. Rather than be fit, try doing yoga and make sure that she's kind of fit for the delivery.
Thanks, Virat.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Kohli. We will now move on to Will Smith. Amber Heard, please be ready.
Hello, should I start?
Will Smith,
Hi. Should I start?
yes, your time is starting now.
Hi, I am Will Smith. I was born in Pennsylvania, USA. And my parents' name are Caroline. She was school administrator, and my dad, Smith Senior, was working at the US Air Force. But I had a lots of failures in my life. But the main failures in my life are my parents divorced when I was 13. My many movies were flop. I was bankrupted due to a very serious reason that I used to never save money. And I want to tell you people, save money and invest your money in the right place. But the main thing is that one thing, that failure comes in your life at any time as success. The main thing I want to tell you today is in my speech that I got succeeded many times. Bad Boys was the first film I have. Sorry, it was my second film, but the first film I had a flop film. But you have to never lose your hope. You have to come up failures to succeed. The main words which I always repeat: failures is a main part of successful person. Successful people fail a lot. They whole in their life, they whole fail a lot, then they succeed, as they learn lessons from their failures and use the energy and wisdom for their upcoming phase of success. And please see my motivational videos in YouTube named Will Smith, and I want you to follow me on Instagram, YouTube, and see my motivational video. And I want you people to understand what is failure, and you people.
Thank you, Mr. Will Smith.
Hello.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Your time is up.
All right, Mr. Will.
Mr. Smith.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, ma'am. Sir.
Do you think,
Ma'am, I can't hear you now.
pushing Jane Smith, and am I audible now?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Will Smith, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Many celebrity parents prefer not to, reveal their family or their children and put them in the spotlight. But you have made the decision to put all three of your children into this limelight at a very young age. Do you think this is the right decision on your path? Can you elaborate?
This is a right decision because my children's work hard. You have watched their movie Karate Kid, and they have absolutely worked hard. And my son, he actually writes music, he sings, sorry, not sings, he raps, and this is a right decision. They work hard. They don't just simply like nepotism or like that. It's not. They work hard. They are perfect person to be in that spot.
Yes, but they're all drug addicts now. So, do you think on some level you are to blame because you put them into the Hollywood scene at such a young age? And by the way, Karate Kid stopped being relevant in 2011. Your son hasn't really had, Jaden Smith hasn't really had a lot of fame after that.
Yeah.
So, can you comment on that? Some part of that decision had a negative effect. Don't
Yeah,
you
it
think your
had a
children had to give consent before you could put them in the spotlight?
Yeah, I think so. It had a little negative effect, but it has also a positive effect that they work hard. I want other celebrities' children also to work hard like this, and even they have to come in movies much earlier, because to be celebrity is not so easy. I'm telling, but the cases of drugs, I'm think so. I'm a little blameful on that.
All right, Mr. Smith. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. The judges will now ask you questions.
What genre of films did you actually revel? Bad Boys or MIB?
I think so. Bad Boys. Why? Because Bad Boys was first one that made me.
But the MIBC series was also something that really enthused your fans.
But yeah, it enters. But my career started with the Men in Black. Sorry, this Bad Boys.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Amber Heard, you will now perform John Lennon, Please Be Ready. Judges kindly note, John Lennon is absent. We will have Karan Johar perform after Amber Heard. Judges kindly note, Amber Heard is absent too. I now request Karan Johar to perform. Hillary Clinton, please be ready.
Excuse me, can you hear me?
Yes. Please
Okay.
switch on your video.
Yeah. Am I speaking with me?
Yes, we can see you.
Your time starts now.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. I'm Karan Johar. You can also call me KJO. I was born on 25th May 1972 in Mumbai. I completed most of my schooling in Mumbai. I have a master's in French, so I'm pretty fluent in French. Now, I am an actor, a director, a producer, a screenwriter, and also a costume designer. I made my debut as a director in the movie Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. You guys probably would have watched the movie. Uh, this very movie, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, was the first movie to be converted, was the first Indian movie to be converted into a book. After this, I was the only Indian invited to be at the London Olympics, including Dr. Manmohan Singh. My other movies include Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge, Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum, and also Razi. I have hosted various shows like Coffee with Karan, Calling with Karan, and also have been invited to be as a guest in India's Got Talent. I am a recipient of the Honorable Award of the Honorable Padma Shri Award, and also have what do you say? Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johar. The press is open to ask questions.
Hello, Mr. Johar. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. You have publicly stated about nepotism time and time before. So I would you have been criticized for supporting nepotism as well by casting children of established Bollywood stars, not to name names, in your films and not supporting industry newcomers. Please shed light on this.
Okay. First of all, I want to tell you that all of these allegations are just baseless. Our production, that is the Dharma Productions, had in 2018 had 22 debut directors, in which almost 16 to 17 were not nepotistic young filmmakers. And also, it's my money, and I'm putting all the resources, so it's totally acceptable and on the people I choose. I don't need others to tell me who I have to choose.
Mr. Johar, so are you saying that you support nepotism?
No, I don't support nepotism.
But then you just said that it is your money and it is not.
Yeah,
it is your decision.
It's my money because I can choose whoever's good in that field. I choose them. Nepotism has never been. I have never supported nepotism.
All right.
I have a question as well. Mr. Karan Johar, it is very evident from what we see, especially on Coffee with Karan. You invite young celebrities onto your show, manipulate them into saying things just to get publicity for your show and headlines for your show. Can you please comment on this?
First of all, it's not about the publicity. I just want the viewers to be entertained. It's just for the entertainment. It's nothing about the publicity of what I call people.
So you're
So yeah.
saying you're using the lives of these celebrities to provide entertainment? You're using their lives as a mockery to provide entertainment? You're twisting their statements for entertainment?
No, I'm not.
All right, fair enough.
Thank
If you
you.
would like to continue, you can. But
No, it's fine.
all right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johar. The judge will ask you questions now.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello? You are often the favorite of trolls. So how do you take trolls literally ripping you apart?
Trolls and trollers don't affect me at all. I know who I am, and yeah, they don't affect me at all.
Yeah, okay, there's some issue with the audio. Yeah. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for your reply.
Thank you, Mr. Karan Johar. Hillary Clinton, you will now perform Lady Gaga. Please be ready.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Your time starts now.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. I am Hillary Rodham Clinton. I was born on October 26, 1947. As a child, I had seen my father put everything he had into a small fabric printing shop in Chicago. My mother was out on her own, working as a housemaid. So I grew up respecting the dignity of hard work. My political journey begins as a student. When I enrolled into Wellesley College, I was quite active in student politics. In 1974, I became a member of the Presidential Impeachment Inquiry staff, advising the Judiciary Committee of the House of Representatives. There are certain rules and regulations to be followed by a first lady, but I had violated them right from the beginning. I always wanted to bring women to the forefront and show the role of women in the society. As I always say, human rights are women's rights, and women's rights are human rights. But apart from fighting for women, I also care about the human health and as well as the children's rights. They do play an important role in my life. And this ability of mine to handle politics and provide service to the society gave me the title of the first lady of of America and the secretary of the state. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Hillary Clinton. The press will now ask you questions.
Okay. Former First Lady and former Madam Secretary, I would like to ask you the following question. Based on your monologue where you talked about feminism and your work as First Lady, what would you consider as a major reason for your pantsuit look, the pantsuit look that is so popular? What is a major reason for it?
I always wanted to support women, and I, as a feminist, and I had changed my attire when I started supporting my husband as a first lady, and these were the personal choices I had made when I had joined, and yeah, these are my personal choices. So I wouldn't want to.
Ma'am, I would like to ask you this based on a quote that you had mentioned that you, just give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pantsuit look of yours came out to you had quoted that this look was to not get men distracted because you were running for president, and you had mentioned that this look was to show to everybody that you will not be a distraction. Did you would you consider this as a feminist statement? Would you consider this as a statement made by someone who supports feminism?
Not at all, as everybody has their own point of view. And when you're running around doing a lot of things, you would always want to be in your comfort and you would not want people to get distracted from you. And as far as it comes to feminism, though I support feminism in my motive and what I speak, but that has no impact on how I dress up. That's my choice. So I feel it's
All right, I have one last question for you. Once you lost the elections, you came out with a book in 2017 called What Happened. And in your book, you had mentioned a long list of people you blame for the reason for your loss of the presidential election. In that, you have blamed the Trump administration for infuriating the white population with racial feelings, with feelings against the black race. So are you implying that the people who voted, that the whites who voted for the Republicans are racist?
no, but then when you have everybody has a different feeling in their within them. When you instigate a person regarding a particular issue, and if a person feels themselves as superior to the others, then they would obviously go towards it. So I feel that I wasn't generalizing everybody, but I was generalizing on how Trump wanted to cause division between people, due to which some feel that they are superior than the others and go ahead for voting for Trump.
Okay, fair enough. The judge will now ask you questions.
Did you feel that Bill Clinton's escapades in the Lincoln bedroom had anything to do with your falling out in the election race against Donald Trump?
I'm sorry, can you please repeat?
Did you feel that Bill Clinton's escapades in the Lincoln bedroom had anything to do with your electoral chances versus Trump?
No, as far as I always feel that I stood up for election and it was me. So whatever my husband would have done, whatever he did, would not be a reason why I was not elected. But if anybody would vote, they would vote for me and my ideas and my on the way I would rule the country. So I do not find it related to me winning the election or not.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Clinton. We now have Lady Gaga. Queen Elizabeth, you will perform next.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Your time starts now.
Okay. Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm Lady Gaga. You may know me as Mother Monster. I am an American singer, record producer, and businesswoman. I started playing the piano at 4. I believe that any song can be played on the piano and still sound like a hit. I don't know exactly where my affinity for music comes from, but it is a thing that comes easiest to me, and I might not have been a natural dancer, but I am a natural musician. That is the thing that I believe I'm greatest at. Now, when I was younger, I was really bullied and made fun of, like, why do you want to be a musician? Why do you want to be a singer? Why do you want to be an actress? And I felt so secluded. And then I dropped out of college. Kids don't drop out of school. I dropped out of college. I was like, I have to pursue my dream to be a musician. This is what I want. And it was in creating Gaga that I was able to create a superhero for myself. It was a vision for the me that I wanted to be. I wanted to be confident. I wanted to be filled with self-compassion. I wanted to be filled with compassion for others. And I wanted to share my vision of the world with the world. Now, after almost over a decade of being in the industry, I really recognize my position. The people are watching me. Now, I could hyper-focus on being objectified and being on tabloids and being gossiped about, but you know what? I'm thinking to myself, oh, the world is watching? Then I have something important to say, and I want to change people's lives and I have a responsibility to this whole world. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss. Yes, thank you, Lady Gaga. The press will now ask you questions.
Okay, Lady Gaga, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're audible.
All right. You infamously wore a dress made out of raw meat for the 2010 MTV Video Music Awards. Do you think that this decision was insensitive to the other attendees, or do you maintain to your aesthetic that you just don't care about other people?
See, I use fame as a mode of highlighting other aspects. Like I wore the meat dress to highlight the issue of don't ask, don't tell. It was a policy that prevented gay people in the military to show off their to tell that they're gay and to be openly gay. So I was not supporting of that. So I wore a meat dress to highlight that issue.
All right. While it's a very noble cause, don't you think this could have caused some sort of unrest among any vegetarian or vegan attendees of the MTV Music Awards?
I just made a statement and I have no comment on vegans or anything like that.
All right, sure. Moving on. Over the years, you've branded yourself as someone who wears, extremely bizarre, over-the-top outfits and does over-the-top things. You've worn the meat dress, you've worn the bubble dress, you've even hired someone to throw up on you on stage during a concert. Is it safe to say this is a PR stunt because you want to stay relevant in 2020?
My wacky fashion choices come out of a desire for control in an industry that loves to take control away from its artists. So I feel like my fashion choices do exactly what I want them to do. Everything that I wear, I'm a true academic when it comes to music, when it comes to my style, my fashion. There's nothing that I put on my body that I don't understand where it came from, the reference of it, who inspired it. There's always some sort of story or concept that I'm telling,
Yes, but PETA activists have said that when you wore your red meat dress, under the harsh lights of the studios, they actually started rotting, and there were maggots crawling on the meat. So isn't this, I don't know, extremely disgusting for the other? It's a hygienic issue for the rest of the people there. Or do you still, is your final statement that you just don't care and you will always be unapologetically you? Do you not care about hygiene as well?
I wouldn't exactly put it that way. As I said, my purpose was to bring attention to a greater cause, and it did that. And if that was my purpose and it happened, then I don't.
All right, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lady Gaga. The judges will now ask you questions.
You are known for consistent image reinventions. Why this need for reinventing your image?
I've always found my outfits as a way of expressing myself. I love fashion, and I have been influenced by really great idols like Cher and Versace and everything. And it was I look at my outfits as a way of showing the world that I don't care about the media or what they think of me, because I feel like social media is honestly the toilet of the internet, and whatever they think, it does not affect me. I am who I am, and I will not change myself.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
We have now come to an end of this competition, the imitation game, mock press. I apologize for the delay in time. I would like to thank the participants for your active participation. And this has also been a very vibrant. We thank our judges We would like to thank our judges, Mr. Jaideep Shenoy and Mrs. Deborah Lobo, for their time and patience. Please note, the results of this competition will be announced today during the live valedictory session at 5:30 p.m. You may join the YouTube link that will be sent to you for the same. Thank you. Have a nice day. Participants, you may now leave the meeting.
Thank you.